I like to look at it as a beginning of a 2-year journey that we'll get to all take together leading up to the 100th anniversary of this historic theater on November 24th, 2027.
100 years ago, our founding fathers of the community said we need to build a theater because it's really about the generations and the importance of the arts in a community and building things.
We all have our favorite moments, and we want to be able to continue those moments in this second century and continue to be able to share memorable experiences in this historic space.
What it does is it makes this community so rich. So not only is it personal, but it's also about family. And then you build it into community. It's about what makes a community stronger. And for 98 years, this facility has done that. And now it's time to make it better. Give it a little facelift, but keep the same character and keep the importance of what's right for a community, what makes a community stronger, what makes a community better. This is about not only the current generation, but the generations to come.
So what is this project? What does it entail? Well, the first thing and the primary thing and the number one focus is this incredible theater itself. You know, it was last restored in 1987. It's been 40 years, and if you followed along, we've been really busy over those 40 years, especially over the last 10 or 15. Time and traffic has taken its toll. You know, the seats need to be replaced, the soft goods, the curtains, the paint, there's just all kinds of things. And I would like to tell people, we're not renovating the Grand, we're restoring the Grand. We're restoring some of the luster of the Grand and building what will truly be a richer experience for patrons and artists alike. And yes, I did say new seats. Very clearly, new seats, because everybody asked, are you going to replace these seats? I think some of you saw Star Wars, or maybe even across your wide Missouri in from these seats, so it's past time to replace them. Beyond the theater and our backstage area, we're going to be making substantial enhancements to the spaces that touring productions use, particularly dressing rooms and green rooms. Beyond this space, into the Great Hall, that space is going to be transformed. You know how difficult it is to even have a conversation in the Great Hall on a show night with the volume level. We're going to have an acoustically superior Great Hall space that not only will allow us to have conversations on show nights, but will allow us to create a secondary stage for all kinds of events and shows and other performances that better fit in that Great Hall, and as it was originally intended 25 years ago. Not as much fun, but just as necessary, is a lot of infrastructure through the entire block. We've got systems that are date to arts block, some even before arts block. They're at the end of their life or beyond the end of their life. A lot of projects that are going on through the entire block, all with an aim toward enhancing our patron amenities, accessibility, safety, security, and technology for productions. That's our aim and our guiding star for all of these enhancements. And of course, all the work will be completed by that 100th anniversary coming up in November of 2027. The Wausau Theater Company management knocked down the Grand Opera House that stood on this site in March of 1927, and a mere 8 months later, built this facility, built this historic venue where we're still standing today. And I just think, what on earth would Frank Welcher and his cohorts at that time think that this theater would still be around 100 years today? And I think what they would say is this community has supported this theater for the entirety of the now 98 years. You know, whether it was through the years it was a movie venue, a performance venue, or when it was brought back to life in the 1987 campaign, or the Arts Block campaign in the early 2000s, or through good times and bad times for the PAF, and even through our closure of 18 months just 5 years ago. At every opportunity, this community has stepped up, and I absolutely know it will be the case again. I talk a lot with colleagues, agents, artists, producers, managers, and I love that how many times unprompted they say to me, "You have a really special thing in Wausau. You know that, right?" Yes, I do. We're so fortunate to have what we have here at the Grand. We are just so excited to share this campaign with all of you, to share it with the public. We're excited to be on this journey with you toward that historic 100th anniversary in 2027.